Alright, here we are for the second round. Not going to play first. And I'm not going to keep this hand. I mean, even if I hit a land in my first few draws, I get to make a Blood Baron, and then I'm kind of stuck. I need to hit at least 2 lands to get going, and I don't want to rely on that. That's obviously a mole. Yeah, this one's a keeper. I mean, would I rather have that 7? Probably. But it's in the ballpark. Because at least I get to play a Corpse Hauler, and if I do hit those same lands, I get a Cursed Spirit down. Yeah, there we go. Now I just got to hit some lands. And I've got an interesting one because I can come back. Well, it looks like we're against blue here, but I can come back from some decent stuff with Mark of the Vampire too. Yeah, I'll run out a Corpse Hauler. Sure. I wholeheartedly welcome you to use your counter spell on it, but he doesn't have one. Oh, and just does nothing. I like that. So Blood Baron or Siphon Sliver. Considerations, which one would I rather have countered? Which one would I rather have on the battlefield? Those are the kind of things that I'm thinking about here. Blood Baron has a higher upside, but we're not really going to be sacking stuff anytime soon. So I think I'm just going to run out the Siphon Sliver because it's better now. Yet if it gets countered, Blood Baron's still better later. So it kind of makes a lot of sense in this way. The reason it's better now is just because it has lifelink. You know, it'll gain us a little bit of life, where Blood Baron really is just going to be a 2/2 for 3 at this stage in the game. Alright, looks like we're running good today. Opponent's missing land drops here, so that's nice. We get a chance to see what he's got. Oh, wow, a Marauding Maulhorn. Alright. Blood Baron. Attack and attack. Alright, so let's put the pedal to the metal. Our basic goal here is to flood the board with as many creatures as we can. And just pressure him. I mean, we got to make him come up with some good stuff here. Warden of Evos Isle. Yeah, we're just going to ship the whole team here. Hopefully we'll draw a land. Land would be nice. If we draw a land, we get to play Cursed Spirit and make sure that it resolves. Quag Sickness. Quag Sickness, I think we can actually just play here. It's our only play anyway. We have no other way to play anything. And this is going to take almost half of his life total away here and put extreme pressure on him now. Where if we draw a land next turn, card like Mark of the Vampire could completely swing things. So could an Accursed Spirit. All right, he's got a Trained Condor. Now, does he? No, he doesn't have anything else. All right. Yeah. I mean, look, if we're going to draw a removal spell that's the only spell we can play for the turn on our opponent's at A and we have 6 power, we're running it. So I'll take it all day. Anything that we'd change here? Shrivel's interesting. It does blow us out, though, pretty good in a lot of cases. So probably not the best idea here. Duress against the blue deck, generally good, though we didn't really get a chance to see much. We could probably assume that he's running Chandra's Outrage in there, maybe 1 or 2 of those. Duress could be good. What would I take out? All of these seem fine. One of the Blood Barons we could take out pretty easily. Siphon Sliver, a little bit better versus the deck like his. The Spirits are going to be really good. And same with the Death Gaze Cockatrice. Those are just really nice against a deck like that. Minotaur Abomination does a good job of holding down the fort as well. Maybe I'll cut 1 Blood Baron for a Duress. I think that since he's running both blue, which has counter spells and some other stuff that we'd like to hit, and red, which is going to have burn spells, especially some powerful ones that we'd like to kill, I think it's worth it. We're going to keep this one. This is actually kind of a sweet hand. All right, there's a Corpse Hauler, but we're still going to run the Child of Night out there first because it's better on the board as a 2/1 with lifelink, and we're not going to be... And that way, if it gets countered, we can always Corpse Haul it later. If the Corpse Hauler gets countered or shocked, then there's a shock. Then we never get value out of it, and that's just bad. All right, so here's a Warden. And Corpse Hauler. If his plan is to race us, we're certainly fine with that. As we've got a Corrupt that's going to come down late in the game and hopefully kind of finish him off. If he plays a Maulhorn here, ooh, he did. That's a little bit sketchy for us. We're going to play an Accursed Spirit, and yeah, we're going to trade it. I don't want to. I mean, I don't mind entering a race with him, but I don't want to start taking 7 points of damage per turn. He's got to attack with the Maulhorn, so... Ooh, he's got another shock, though. All right, well, now we just need to draw a land. We need a land pretty badly. Otherwise, we can draw a Quag Sickness. If we don't, though, we're going to be dead very quickly. Yeah, wow. All right. Okay. Well, we've got a game plan here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to play Liturgy of Blood on the Air Servant, because that's actually a much bigger problem than the Maulhorn. If we get lucky and hit a land next turn, then we can play Minotaur Abomination, which can block this thing. We can play Nightmare, which will be a 6/6 that can block this thing or this thing. But if we don't, then Air Servant can just fly over and kill us. So we have to kill this. And we're not going to block. Oops, I tapped one too many, but I guess it's not really relevant. Or no, I didn't tap too many. I forgot I had the 3 extra, but I wasn't going to sack the Corpse Hauler right now anyway. So let's battle. Now, if we don't draw a land this turn, or a spell that kills Marauding Maulhorn, then our plan is going to be to block and sack and go to 2 to get back Accursed Spirit, but this is going to become lethal pretty quickly, so land, please? He's got 2 cards in hand and just shipped. Alright, Quag Sickness is good. This is an interesting decision now. So I can go for the block and sack. How are we going to win this game? We're going to win this game by playing a Nightmare and just killing him. How are we going to lose this game? Well, we're going to lose this game to this thing if we don't do anything, and to this thing in 1 hit if we do nothing as well. So we've got some options. Our options are just Quag Sickness the Marauding Maulhorn. Then he attacks us for 2, and then if we get lucky and hit a land, we play Nightmare, and it can block the Warden, and we can win. Our other option is to Quag Sickness the Warden, chump block here, and then the same thing. If we can draw a land, we're good to go. But then also, there's a lot of creatures that we have that can be good as well. I feel like the Warden's actually the bigger threat here, even though the Marauding Maulhorn is the one that's lethal. So let's kill the Warden and say go. And if he manages to kill our Corpse Hauler, then we're just dead. But if he doesn't, then we can play one of our 6-drops. He has to run his guy into our 6-drop, and then we'll be stabilized. Missing that mana is pretty painful for us. If he has a counterspell, of course, we're just always dead. But all right, that's a perfect draw. That's if it was going to be a non-land. See if he's got a Chandra's Outrage or a Disperse or a Time Ebb. Wow, nothing on end step. That's good news for us. One turn. And there it is. Flames of the Firebrand to kill us. All right. That sucks. I was hoping we'd be able to get away with it, but we weren't quite. We could consider bringing in this staff here. I just don't like those. Let's just beat him the good old-fashioned way. I still like having the what's it called though? The duress in here. Yeah, we have to mulligan this one. We have 3 6-drops and only 2 lands. It's just too much. It just puts too much pressure on us to just draw lands. So that's unfortunate though, because these are some of our best cards, obviously, and we do have a 2-drop. But I think we have to mull this. And we're going to have to mulligan this one. Yeah, we have to mulligan this one. We've got plays, but yeah, this sucks. Alright. At least we're on the draw, I suppose, but mulliganing to 4. It's just no fun to mull to 4. I mean, there's no real other way to put it. Deathgaze Cockatrice is very bad versus him because he has at least 2 shocks. We'll just hope that he gets off to a slow start and we get kind of lucky and hit a bunch of lands. So far, so good. Alright, well, there's a Blood Baron. Oh, he's shocking it? Oh, sweet. Oh, that's awesome. That's really great for us. It's kind of a hasty play from him. Oh, he has nothing. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to play a Deathgaze Cockatrice. Maybe he just got another shock. Alright, well. He's certainly ahead on the mana race there, but really it's just a card thing, and he's way ahead on cards. Alright, well, we know he has that shock, so that could help us out, but shock is very good versus us, unfortunately. Mark of the Vampire could get awkward if we draw any number of creatures here that we'd like to mark up, but we know that he's got shock so that we can't, so that could really suck. The good news is that we're under essentially no pressure as the board sits, so that's really good for us. The bad news is that we just kind of have nothing going on here, so we just have to keep shipping the turn back. Nightwing Shade, we might just have to play it to suck up a shock. We'll see what we get here. Well, there's a Child of Night, so I'll play that. And hopefully he'll just use shock on it. If not, then these are just going to stand here and stare at each other for a while. And there it is. All right, so that's good. That means that if we do draw a land here, we could actually get back into this thing with our Nightwing Shade. There's a Trained Condor. Yeah, that's fine. Land. Quag Sickness. Not really what I want to use my Quag Sickness on, but I also don't want to just start taking 2 a turn indefinitely here. We have to stay alive long enough to hit these lands and be able to start playing some sweet spells. So let's just hope that Nightwing Shade is the ticket to victory here. He's flooded a bit, down to 2 cards. We've actually got more action in hand than he does potentially here. And let's see what he's got. Hopefully he does an opportunity in response here. That would be about the worst for us, but maybe we can get a Flames of the Firebrand or something. Oh, he's just going to cancel it. All right, well, that's good. That got a cancel out of his hand. We don't know what his last card is, but getting a cancel out of his hand is kind of a big game because, yeah, we need to resolve these spells in order to win this game for sure. Clone getting back cancel. Okay, I mean, it's a little annoying, but we have, we draw a creature, and we're pretty set here. We know one of the cards in his hand that way. Okay, that I'm not going to do. because we're going to need that in case he does draw a real threat here, because any of our creatures can get in the way of this. Even then, it's still taking 3 a turn, which I'm not happy about, but like... Okay, now we know his last card is Cancel. Cursed Spirit. So cancel that. And then we have free reign. So we need to draw a land now. We just have to draw a land. We can wipe his board. We can do Liturgy into Quag Sickness if he doesn't play anything here. Land. Ugh. Alright, well. It's time for desperation mode here. We need to survive as long as possible, and we need to start taking 1 less per turn. It's kind of sad, but this is what happens when you get stuck on 4 lands indefinitely. All right, we did it. Land. Nightwing Shade. Your move? Okay, he's got flames, but now, again, we're in a similar situation. We just need a land. If we don't, I'm going to Liturgy of Blood this thing. Okay, I'll Liturgy of Blood that thing. Okay. Back in business. He's on 0 cards here. He's going to equip. I am going to take it. Now, if he drew a shock, we're dead. But if he didn't, then I get to either slam mark or corrupt something or whatever. All right. Jeez, we can just not get anything going, and now we're just dead. Man, that's sad. Stuck on lands forever, and now he's got a lethal guy in the air. Yeah, we don't have any real way to interact here. If we suit up our Child of Night, it doesn't do anything. He just blocks and it just dies immediately. So, we're going to do it, but we're dead. Now, that is just sad. We've obviously got a blockbuster hand here, but it just won't matter. Wow. He just took it. Well, unfortunately, we're still just dead. All right, so we lost. I got to say, though, I think it was... I really do feel like it was mainly a luck. You know, I mean, you don't want to go around blaming luck, but you also have to recognize that there is running good and running bad, and we ran pretty bad that time. Mulligan to ton, mulligan to 4, mulligan the next one, and just how do we miss that many land drops? We were running a pretty reasonable 17. Yeah, it happens, right? Like you get used to it, but at the same time, it's hard because you want to hold yourself accountable, but at the same time, you do need to recognize that there wasn't a ton we could do there. Now, maybe I could have pulled the trigger on a removal spell a turn sooner on one of those Archaeomancers. That's something I can be accountable for. I don't know if I should have. I don't feel like I should have, but maybe I should have. But the missing the lands for that many turns in a row is unlikely and doesn't happen very often. Also, mulliganing that much doesn't happen. So, yeah, I still like the matchup. I think if we were to play that matchup out, I would favor our deck in that case. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to send any feedback via email, it's limitedresourcespodcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter, Marshall_LR. It's a great place to ask quick questions or just say hi. If you want to join the Limited Resources clan on Magic Online, you can just send me a message, Marshall_LR, ask for a clan invite. It's that simple. The only rules are that you're not a jerk and that you love to play Magic. That's it. If you want to find anything Limited Resources related, it's lrcast.com. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.